Hello everyone. It's hard to believe how quickly 7 days can slip through our fingers. And just like that, it's Sunday evening again and our shared moment on Newsline. I'm Claire Adelabu Abdurrazak and I'm delighted to have you with us once again. Now, have you noticed how January arrived with such urgency, full of noise, plans and expectations, only to gradually slow its pace as it draws to a close? Well, life often follows that same pattern, Nature too has a way of teaching us. We rush through, our early days, and of course with time, we begin to appreciate the quiet strength of slowing down, of observing, reflecting, and truly living. Tonight, we have a rich basket of human experiences, stories that may leave you incredulous, moments that celebrate resilience and the very vibrant thrills of our culture. You'll get to see how small choices we make, whether on our roads or in our communities, can make the difference between being caught off guard and being prepared. You'll also see how everyday practices can carry implications far beyond what meets the eye. So, wherever you're watching from, welcome aboard Newsline Airways, flight 900 hours, taking off from the network service of the NTA here in Abuja, where every story has a heartbeat. Our journey begins in the newsroom in a while, then we pause briefly for a commercial break, and finally return to unpack the stories shaping our lives tonight. The engines are humming, steel trays up, please, seatbelts securely fastened, and we're cleared for takeoff. All right, here is the news, and we begin with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu departing Abuja on Monday, January 26, for a state visit to the Republic of Turkey. The visit is aimed at strengthening existing cordial relations between both countries and explore more areas of cooperation in security, education, social development, innovation, and aviation. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Nanuga, says Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan paid an official visit to Nigeria from between October 19 and 2021. During President Tinubu's visit, both countries will engage in strategic, political, and diplomatic discussions on shared values in finance, communication, trade, and investment. The agenda will include meetings between high-ranking officials of both nations and the signing of Memoranda of Understanding (MOUs) in scientific research, energy, technical cooperation, media and communications, military cooperation, and protocol, among others. The business forum will bring together investors from both countries to explore areas of interest during the visit. Members of the President's entourage participating in the bilateral discussions include some ministers, member House of Representatives, National Security Advisor, and Director General of the NIA. And the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has formally signed the concession agreement for Kano Ibiam International Airport in Enugu, marking a significant milestone in the federal government's efforts to modernize Nigeria's aviation infrastructure through public-private partnerships. The signing ceremony held at the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Abuja, brought together key stakeholders, including representatives of the Enugu State Government, Aero Alliance, and top officials from the Federal Ministry of Aviation, as well as the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN. The minister described the event as the culmination of a transparent and painstaking process that began years ago and received Federal Executive Council approval on July the 31st, 2025. He emphasized that workers' rights and job security were prioritized throughout the negotiations, with no retrenchments or changes to employment terms. The concession of Akano Ibiam International Airport in Enugu aligns with the federal government's aviation sector reform agenda aimed at attracting private investment, improving infrastructure, enhancing regional connectivity, and strengthening Nigeria's aviation competitiveness. And the federal government has introduced a framework aimed at resolving the prolonged industrial dispute with the joint health sector unions, JOHESU, assuring health workers that a long-awaited review of the consolidated health salary structure, CONHES, is still under active consideration. Now, the government's response follows a joint statement by the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, and the Trade Union Congress, TUC, which accused the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare of deliberately failing to implement the 2021 report of the Technical Committee on CONHES adjustment. The ministry notes that several conciliatory meetings have been held with JOHESU since the strike began, both at the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare and the Federal Ministry of Labour and Employment, despite the union's decision to seek intervention from the National Industrial Court of Nigeria. Addressing the no work, no pay policy, the ministry says, should JOHESU suspend the strike in good faith, the matter will be handled administratively. It also expresses readiness to continue engaging the NLC and TUC in subsequent negotiations. The federal government also emphasizes its commitment to achieving a fair and lasting resolution through dialogue, mutual respect, and equity across all professional cadres in the health sector. And as Nigeria embraces artificial intelligence innovation, policies and frameworks must be in place to ensure that technology, serves humanity and not the other way around. Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, stated this while reflecting on this year's International Day of Education with the theme, AI and Education, Preserving Human Agency in a World of Automation, harping on the need for humans to be the drivers of AI, harnessing innovation and preserving the values that define and sustain development. The First Lady, in a message marking the celebration, notes that education remains the most powerful tool to acquire knowledge, values, and ethical judgment crucial to thrive in a technology-driven world. She says investment in quality and inclusive education, which remains a national priority, will empower citizens to think critically and act responsibly in order to embrace the future with confidence. And the Nigeria Educational Loan Fund, NELFund, has denied media reports alleging that beneficiaries of the fund's student loan scheme have been directed to commence repayment. A statement by Director of Strategic Communications, NELFund, Oshiyemi Oluwatoyi, indicates that the reports are false, misleading, and unfounded. The clarification follows an official statement by the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Benin, Professor Doba Bright Omorege San, which disowns a purported circular currently in circulation outlining repayment procedures for NELFund loans. NELFund says the university confirmed that the document did not originate from the institution and that no repayment guideline had been issued by NELFund or the federal government. NELFund clarifies that no repayment is required while a beneficiary remains unemployed after graduation, and loan repayment only commences in line with the provisions of the law after gainful employment as applicable. NELFund urges students, parents, and institutions, as well as the public, to disregard the fake circular and related publications. And the strongest armor of a nation is not forged in steel, but in the unbreakable bond between its soldiers. In the neighborhood lies our unity in the shared purpose, our nation's integrity. Now, those were the words of the former Chief of Defence Staff, Admiral Ola Said Ibrahim, to members of the 42 regular course reunion and gala night in Abuja. Defence correspondent Olaide Bello captured the moments.
The Nigerian Army Conference Center and Suites, Asokoro, was the anchor for the convergence of the 42 regular course reunion and gala night. A night of glitz and glamour filled with lots of jaw, hugs and loads of catching up to do, all in one night. Shoulder to shoulder they stand, not as regions or races, but as one sentinel.
For those of you who are big round, GOCs and whatever, please connect with the ones who are not GOCs. FOCs amongst you, please connect the one with the ones who are not FOCs. Not one person can do it alone. Apart from NGL uniting all of us, we have no other country but Nigeria.
National integration is secured on the frontier where individual differences dissolve into a unified purpose. The military covenant, a brotherhood sworn to something greater than self, is the living blueprint for a nation united.
We must leverage our collective experience and influence to mentor younger officers, support one another, and contribute meaningfully to national development.
A minute's silence was observed for their colleagues who paid the supreme price and their widows compensated. Olaide Bello, NTA News.
And operatives of the Department of State Services, DSS, have arrested 2 suspected members of a band of sea pirates in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State, while they were fine-tuning plans to hijack a crude oil laden vessel in the Gulf of Guinea. The arrest took place on Saturday, and the report is presented from our studios.
Security sources say the men were nabbed at a hotel on Tenacious Street in the ADP area of Yenagoa. Sources also say preliminary intelligence, corroborated by the suspect's confessional statements, revealed that the men, along with other band members, were plotting to seize a vessel, abduct its crew, and steal its cargo, with Nweze as the financier of the operation and Atizara tasked with recruiting additional pirates. Recall that barely a week ago, the DSS, in separate joint operations with sister security agencies and forest guards, rescued some abducted pastors and other individuals in Kaduna and Borno states. Another source disclosed that the arrest of the 2 suspected sea pirates in Bayelsa State marks additional successes by security agencies in the region, with others being the interception of several pirate speedboats and the rescue of crew members from hijacked vessels off the coasts of Bayelsa and Delta states.
Right, and let's take you now to Jigawa State, which has taken another major step towards becoming an international investment destination, as Governor Umaru Namadi has received a delegation of agricultural and livestock development investors from Hubei province of the People's Republic of China for a strategic public-private partnership. Mohammed Musa Skira tells us more.
Governor Umar Namadi received the delegation at the Government House, Dutse, following earlier engagements at the African-China Business Roundtable held in Wuhan, Hubei province in November last year. The investors, led by a co-investor Mubarak Tijani, disclosed that their consortium has an investment capacity valued at over $1 billion United States dollars, with an initial commitment of $20 million to be invested in livestock development and poultry farming in Jigawa State. Speaking during the visit, Mubarak Tijani explained that Jigawa State was selected based on its vast agricultural potential, strategic location, and the business-friendly policies of the present administration. Governor Umar Namadi highlighted several investment-ready facilities in the state, including the migratory international livestock market, the export processing zone, and the establishments of the Jigawa State Investment Promotion Agency, describing them as deliberate measures to position the state as an international investment hub.
In terms of production, we are number 1 in wheat production in Nigeria. We are number 1 in sesame. We are number 1 in hibiscus. They said we are number 2 in rice, but we are still contesting that. Because if you go by the figures, we should be number 1.
Our state has immense potential for the alfalfa grazing, which is the most important and nutritious livestock animal feeding plant or grass we have today in the world.
Experts say the visit marks another milestone in Jigawa State's drive to diversify its economy, create job opportunities, and strengthen international economic cooperation. In Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
All right, and let's now take you to the world of sports. And Bade Adeleye is back on the beat. Bade, I don't know what the noise, this evening is all about.
Manchester United beat us now. That's just the noise, and I'm sure you're not happy with that. All right. Let's begin now with handball, as Nigeria's senior men's handball team, the Golden Arrows, are still on course for the semi-finals ticket at the 27th African Men's Handball Nations Cup, despite a 27-24 loss to Angola at the BK Arena, Kigali, Rwanda. The defeat does not end Nigeria's push for a semi-final spot, as the Golden Arrows boast a better goal difference than Angola and currently sit second behind Egypt in the semi-final placement standings. Nigeria will now turn attention to a crucial clash against Egypt, where a favorable result could secure a place in the Final Four and potentially seal a long-awaited qualification for the 2027 World Championship in Germany. To football now, as there was plenty of drama and surprise on match day 22 of the Nigeria Premier Football League across the country at the Cathedral in Enugu, Rangers International overpowered Warri Wolves in a 6-goal thriller, cruising to a 4-2 victory to boost their title push in Mina. Niger Tornadoes turned nighttime champions Enyimba with a convincing 2-0 win, while in Ibadan, Shooting Stars bounced back in style, edging out Bendel Insurance 1-0. It ended all square in Yenagoa as Bayelsa United and Barawa FC shared the spoils in a 1-0 draw, while in Bauchi, Wiki Tourist claimed a crucial 1-0 victory over Kano Pillars. Away from Nigeria, match day 23 of the English Premier League produced some interesting results on Sunday, with dramatic finish at the Emirates Stadium as Manchester United came from a goal down to defeat Arsenal in a thrilling 5-goal encounter, denting the Gunners' title ambitions. Matthias Cunha's 87th minute strike sealed the 3-2 victory for the visitors, with Patrick Dogo and Brian Mbomo on the score sheet. The crucial victory also saw United break into the top 4 for the first time this season. And of course, elsewhere, 10-man Crystal Palace were comfortably beaten 3-1 by resurgent Chelsea as the Blues continued their revival under Liam Rosinio. Meanwhile, at St James's Park, Aston Villa claimed a convincing 2-0 victory for their first league win at Newcastle since 2005. And finally to tennis, as top seed Carlos Alcaraz was in top form at Rod Laver Arena, dismissing American Tommy Paul 7-6, 6-4, 7-5 to reach the Australian Open quarterfinals. The 27-year-old Spaniard will face 6th seed Alex de Minaur, who defeated 10th seed Alexander Bublik in earlier. And of course, in the women's category, world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka continued her title charge with a second set tie-break 6-1, 7-6 over victory over Canadian teenager Victoria Mboko. Still in the women's singles, third-seeded American Coco Gauff faced Ukraine's Elena Svitolina in the quarterfinals after seeing off Karolina Muchova 6-1, 3-6, 6-3. And that does it on sports. Let's now return to Claire. It's been a while.
All right, Bade, thank you. But the win doesn't take Man U to the top of the table, does it?
Well, they're in the top 4.
Sorry?
They're in the top 4 now.
All right, let's see what happens. All right, thank you, Bade. Let's now check out the weather as we take you to the weather center.
And welcome to Monday's weather forecast. We will continue to experience slight Harmattan dust haze across the northern and the north central region, as dry air and warm temperatures, mostly in the upper 30s, continue to dominate this region. The southern part of the country will see patches of cloud with prospects of afternoon and evening thunderstorms over parts of Ogun, Lagos, Delta, Bayelsa, Cross River, Rivers, and Akwa Ibom State. And as the forecast, do keep hydrated and stay weather-wise. I am Akemi Samarda.
And that ends the news segment on Newsline tonight. Thank you for watching, but please don't go away. Just take a break, and I'll be back for Newsline. Thank you for joining us on Newsline. You know, economic realities wear different faces for different people across the country. Tonight, we begin from Plateau State, where women are carving out a place for themselves in a field long seen as men's work. With bare hands and simple tools, they search for minerals, daily bread, and secure a better tomorrow. From professionals to small-scale miners, their stories are filled with courage and hard choices. Presidia Grunam visited mining sites around Jos, revealing both the quiet successes and the daily struggles of women who are determined to earn an honest living.
The 2-year-old Kaneng, a mother of 6, is an artisanal miner. Each day, she steps into a world of dust and danger, working long hours in a male-dominated terrain, digging deep into the earth for minerals that keep her household alive. Like Helen and Grace, Kaneng greets the day before sunrise and labors until dusk. Their hands are their tools, their strength, their only capital. From the depths of the soil come the grains of hope that put food on the table and keep dreams afloat.
I'm into this mining because I want to help my family, I want to help my children, training them so that tomorrow I will not, at least when I'm not strong, I will get somebody that will help me. It's not easy. It's very, very tough.
We are crying to government to help us with incentives so that we can expand this business. I am into this mining to pay my children's school fees and take care of their other needs.
Away from the pits, women like Tessie and Danjos are forging another path as mining vendors. Buying and selling extracted minerals, they turn raw earth into opportunities to bridge financial independence.
What I've never expected I will hold in life, at least I have it of my own, just because I'm into the mining.
Honestly, mining has helped me a lot.
Across the sector, professional women miners are steadily changing the narrative. As geologists, mining engineers, and safety experts, they shatter stereotypes, claiming their space through skills, knowledge, and unwavering determination. The Secretary of Women in Mining, Plateau State Chapter, says women are not only breaking barriers, but also driving initiatives that uplift local communities and promote safer and more sustainable mining practices.
Women in mining do trainings, workshops to expose the women to these dangers. And we begin to tell them to look for where to belong properly in the sector such that such harms are removed. Raping, marginalization, underpayment, all these issues.
Meanwhile, the Plateau State Chairman of the Indigenous Miners Association acknowledges the growing presence of women in the industry, while calling for stronger government support, better regulation, and insurance coverage to build a safer and more organized mining sector.
Government knew and could even support women, like I said, in mining, support their cooperative, to give them incentive that they will go back. In fact, most women will be employed, because there are women too that own even a mining company, processing company, with their certificate, mineral buying center, all of them, they are all there in category. We still even have those that are exported.
And says these women dig deep in search of Earth's hidden riches. They return home each evening, weary but fulfilled, knowing that beneath the dust, the sweat and the struggle lies dignity and the quiet promise of a better tomorrow.
Women miners. I tell you, when courage wears a woman's face, convention gives way to resilience. But what about the impact of our actions on the environment? Let's head to Kano. Discarded and worn-out tires are a common sight in many Nigerian cities. While some are reused or recycled, experts warn that improperly managed used tires pose serious risks to both human health as well as the environment. Now in Kano, the growing trade around condemned tires is drawing attention to the need for proper waste management, as burning, stockpiling and unsafe recycling practices can't lead to air pollution, fire outbreaks and even the spread of diseases. In the next report, Aisha Obali says the hazards associated with used tires and the need for safer handling and regulation have become critical to protect lives and the environment.
Every day at about 4 in the evening, Rabi Suleiman sets up her roadside soybean business in Kano, lighting her coal stove to earn a living. She is one of many small traders in such line of business, but the stove she depends on comes with serious health and environmental risk. Elsewhere, Amina, Hassana and Muhammad use burnt, condemned tires to produce local coal stoves and related materials used by traders like Rabi. Despite repeated warnings from environmentalists, many continue in this line of trade.
This is Kurume Hotoro, where majorly the burning of condemned tires for commercial purposes takes place. While we're looking at the negative impact on the environment and human beings, some Kano residents are cashing out from this business.
On an average day, Abdullahi Yakubu burns more than 200 used tires, releasing thick smoke into the air. He insists government agencies, including Remasab, are aware of their operations.
We burn the tires from 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. at night to avoid scaring people.
We are not aware of the people burning tires around Kwarin Gogo, and that affects environment seriously. It leads to climate change. Remasab is saddled with the responsibility of environmental protection in Kano State.
Hassana Idris, a mother of 4, says she has relied on tire byproduct for 6 years, selling them wholesale to support her family.
Most women that have known me with this business have joined me in this business.
For Amina Salisu, the business has become a lifeline, even as she travels long distances to purchase the wares.
I used to buy from 10 to 15,000 naira. It depends on what I have.
New entrants like San Al Hassan are also joining the trade, hoping to tap into regional demand beyond Nigeria, citing demand from Chad and Niger.
One will wonder how we use hand to craft this coal stock.
Environmental experts, however, warn that burning tires is illegal and releases toxic substances harmful to human health and the ecosystem.
And they feel it's something that they do as a sort of business. Is actually detrimental to the environment, and it affects their health. Maybe they know or maybe they don't. And most of these consequences are long-term effects.
Inhaling the smokes, which are very dangerous, and to the environment, it has meant so many issues because there is one thing that we call greenhouse gases, So if it to go to the combustion used to, it has impact on the ozone layer.
They stress that where the livelihoods are at stake, safety must not be ignored, calling for stricter enforcement of environmental regulations and a transition to safer, cleaner alternatives.
All right, let's go to Lagos, where Intel Energy rolled out the drums during the groundbreaking of its two new technologies, the CNI solutions and the Power Go, aimed at revolutionizing Nigeria's energy landscape. Now, the launch, a lively event, attracted ITEL's major distributors, EPC partners, and stakeholders. 5 lucky people went home with a Power Go Unit H, and Adiola Komiakere was there.
The issue of power in Nigeria, many say, is not to be left to the government alone. This explains why technology-driven companies are researching to provide affordable and reliable alternative power sources. ITEL Energy, on its part, is passionate about creating a future powered by clean energy, leveraging their combined expertise to develop innovative and user-centric energy storage solutions that meet the specific needs of families around the world.
Mr. Lou, unveil the
CNI solution is designed to cater to commercial and industrial clients' needs, offering scalable power capacity, adaptable high-voltage battery system, and multiple protection layers.
Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from ITEL Energy, feast your eyes on the Power Go!
This spectacular unveiling of Power Go got guests excited. This all-in-one power solution for everyday devices features ultra-fast 65 watts charging capability with multiple output ports. What benefits will both products bring to Nigeria?
For the mini power bank, it can help like student, individual to charge their laptop and the phone anytime they want. And for the commercial system, it is working for the middle or big company.
ITEL Energy, with its slogan, Light Up Nigeria, has for more than a decade provided green energy solutions with durable quality and industrial leading service policy.
We started with ITEL Mobile in 2008, and we've grown up until 2023, where we have covered over 70 plus countries. Then we launched the ITEL Energy brand.
Our outlets are in 36 states. So wherever you see the repair Infinix, ITEL, Technophones, it's the same place to take your ITEL Energy product to.
Some key distributors expressed delight at ITEL Energy's new products.
Our products are super reliable. These are products that one can also be comfortable with.
ITEL Energy is very, very affordable. Can you imagine you are getting quality at a small price?
There was a panel session on Nigeria and the future of energy innovation. High point was the raffle draw where 5 lucky winners went home with a Power Go Unit each.
All right, from that ITEL's technology launch, I'm sure the next thing is, when does the cell phone take a rest? I mean, the global mobile phone system, GSM, which has transformed how we live, work, and connect. So since its invention, the device has been a constant companion for everyone, offering convenience and connection. And I do have mine now, as a matter of fact, but not without a cost, especially among young adults. The line between use and overuse is very blurring, with addiction and misuse becoming pressing concerns. In this report, Erica Ivy explores why most people find it hard to disconnect, and she asks the question, when, if ever, does the cell phone get a break?
How far now, you 7? Okay.
Despite the rising cost of mobile phones, their use cuts across all age groups and social classes of all electronic gadgets. The mobile phone has become one of the most commonly used in everyday life.
When I want to sleep, yes, but if I'm awake and the phone is on, I cannot allow it to rest.
Me, I prefer even silencing my phone while sleeping. And my phone, when I'm eating, even though I ring it tomorrow, I will not touch it.
Maybe when I'm out of data or I'm busy, I'm doing something.
Studies shows that many people now rely heavily on their mobile phones as work tools, often using them for long hours without considering the possible health effects.
Since handset came out, it has been a problem. Because even walking on the road, they operate the handset. Sometimes crossing the road, they operate the handset. So the only way to help most people, well, you can just allow them because you can't do without handset now.
When you're involved in a business, especially me, I cannot rest or receive call from morning till night. I'm a real estate agent. So people call left and right from morning till night.
Observers express concern over the growing dependence of young people on mobile phones, whether watching football matches, movies, or online content. This habit is increasingly affecting behavior at home and in public places.
Without the handset, a lot of things will be difficult. Communication, that connectivity will be difficult.
Actually, I've been praying, asking God to help me on how I can get loose from this whole phone thing, because I think it's just only when I want to eat that I remember that I have to keep off my phone to just have that space to eat.
Findings also indicate that misuse of mobile phones, especially by young people, has in some cases led to unpleasant and avoidable incidents.
When I'm less busy, I don't have things really doing, that's when I touch my phone to go through. But when I'm busy, I'm not with my phone, except it is related to the job I'm doing.
When I'm cooking with my gas, then I don't touch the phone. But apart from that, because I really need my phone for different businesses I do every day.
Maybe you are trying to cross the road and the phone call comes in. You have to allow the phone first. Concentrate on how to cross the road.
Respondents maintain that while mobile phones remain important for communication and business, moderation is key, and users should consciously reduce screen time to safeguard their health.
Let's be honest, it's not just the youth that are guilty. We all are guilty. In fact, some people right in front of me are guilty of doing the same. Anyway, I mean, we should make deliberate efforts to stay away from our phone. And I think we also need a short break at this moment so that we can also have a cup of tea. Don't go away. We'll be right back. You're watching Newsline on the network service of the NTA, and we're broadcasting live from our studios in Abuja. All right. Nigeria's rich cultural heritage finds expression in festivals that preserve identity and sustain livelihood. Now, one of such is the Oyarore Salt Festival of Kiana in Nasarawa State. The 2025 edition drew national attention with the presence of Minister of Arts, Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy, Henatu Musawa. She describes the festival as a symbol of identity, resilience, and community pride. Tessia Mary was also there.
An ancient community in Nasarawa State, famous for salt mining, came alive with colorful and cultural splendor as the people celebrate the National Oyarore Salt Festival, a celebration of nature's gift of salt to the community, which is held every end of the year as Thanksgiving.
To give thanks to Almighty God for the bumper harvest of the farm product, the federal government pronounced it to be one of the 12 national festivals in Nigeria.
Beyond the Thanksgiving and celebration of salt, it is a platform for reunion by sons and daughters of Kiana who converged from different parts of the world. It is a culture at its peak, with a variety of events spanning 10 days, from Ogrose, Epaza, Igyonya, Otonobi, Ipoda, among others, reflecting the bravery, courage, and resilience of the people bound by culture and unity. As the winner is handsomely rewarded by the king. The climax of the festival is the Adumasa Royal Dance, which attracts dignitaries that includes Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State, Minister of Arts, Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy, Hannatu Musa Musawa, represented traditional rulers, among others.
It's an opportunity also for us to come together and discuss that this festival does not die, because we are proud of our tradition, proud of our culture.
The administration recognizes the critical role of culture and tourism in nation development. We are committed to supporting festivals that uphold our heritage.
We are determined to promote this event, and in fact, based on the foundation laid by our elders and seniors, the festival has already attracted national attention, and we are determined as a people to take it beyond where we met it.
A celebration of heroism, loyalty, and unity, traditional title holders dance to the admiration of the crowd as they pay homage to the Osana of Kiana.
Kiana, which is popularly referred to as the salt community of the Nigerian Middle Belt, remains a great symbol of the Pararapa identity.
It's a special day for us, all of us, irrespective of our religion. So we came together to celebrate the yearly, salt celebration.
The Osana of Kiana, Alhaji Abdullahi Amigwa Agbo III, thereafter takes the floor with his dance of royalty, which wraps up the festival. For the people of Kiana, the year 2025 ends well, with optimism for a prosperous 2026.
The National Yare Salt Festival provides a platform for unity amongst the Alago peoples. The salt water, a unique and nature's gift to the people of Kiana. And this celebration, which dates back 250 years, is something that the Kiana people always look forward to.
Indeed, it is a good thing to celebrate the salt, for it is said, we are the salt of the world, and if salt is taken away, what is left? Let's get to Ogun State. The former governor, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, has celebrated his 68th birthday in a colorful gathering that drew family members and well-wishers to Abeokuta. Now, the celebration provided opportunity for guests to reflect on the former governor's life, his legacy, and also years of public service, with many describing him as a leader whose impact continues to resonate across that state. Leko Agbonde witnessed the occasion.
For Senator Ibikunle Amosun, it has become a norm to celebrate his birthday in a unique and special way by adopting inclusiveness. This engagement, which is a rally of some sort, was a crescendo of a whole day activities that opened with a special Christian and Islamic prayer sessions as well-wishers come together to celebrate the former governor.
He's a forthright person. You know where he stands on issues. You know, and in the course of his governorship, the kind of development that, especially in terms of road infrastructure that we've witnessed in the Ogun State, is quite unprecedented.
He's a good man, a very good man, has a good heart, has the love of his people at heart. He has the love of Nigeria at heart. A great family man and a good and loyal friend.
Whether it's in politics, whether it's in ordinary life, he takes a stand and he stands by it. He's a man of conviction.
With hearts full of joy and gratitude to God and his people, Senator Amosun expresses belief in the principle of equity and fairness, which he describes as the best way forward in the socio-political journey of the country.
President Tinubu is there now representing all of us in Nigeria primarily. It is a no-brainer for anybody that loves Nigeria to agree that whatever we are doing, we should respect that rotational arrangement and that rotational agreement. And that is why today, just like what I said when we were having our convention that time, that in the interest of Nigeria, not just in the interest of maybe even Najiwadi now, or even any of us, but in the interest of all of us in Nigeria, if the North takes their turn and did 8 years, it is sensible for us to allow the South to have their 8 years.
The session, however, precedes a visit to Ibara Correction Center and Stella Obasanjo Children's Home, where he celebrated his birthday with them, sharing cash and other food commodities. He promised the inmates at the Ibara Correctional Center to offer support within his capacity, particularly for assisting those who need help in paying fines to secure their release.
All right, and it was a moment of faith, family, and fresh beginnings as Abbas Umar Waziri and Sadatu Isa took a lifelong step together. Now, the couple were joined in holy matrimony at the Sultan Bello Mosque in Kaduna, surrounded by loved ones gathered to witness the sacred Islamic rite and pray for a peaceful union. Suraj Abdullahi was there for Newsline.
Following the payment of 500,000 naira dowry, the couple were formally pronounced husband and wife, beginning a new journey rooted in faith and commitment. Prayers filled the mosque as Islamic clerics and family members asked for Allah's guidance, peace and blessings upon the marriage. Well-wishers offered words of advice, urging the couple to embrace love, patience, and mutual understanding.
They have to be patient with each other because that is the key in every marriage, you understand? And they should keep to themselves whatever happens in between them. They shouldn't allow the outsiders to be intervening, you understand, in their affairs.
We want to appreciate and thank each and everyone that has come to actually celebrate His Excellency. And then we are hoping that there will be a very successful event and safe return back to all of the dignitaries back to their various destinations, inshallah.
Parents of the couple emphasize the need for respect and tolerance as key to building a lasting home.
We express our appreciation to Almighty God for allowing us to see this important day, a day in which one of the family members is married. It's a great pleasure.
Marriage is not just about love, it's a divine instruction. So being married and living within the marriage tenet is a religious obligation.
And the ceremony ended on a joyful note as guests were hosted to a modest reception, bringing a memorable and faith-filled wedding celebration to a close.
Thank you, Suraj. Now, you know, newlyweds often enter marriage with dreams and excitement, but many soon discover that navigating shared responsibilities, finances, and family expectations can be quite challenging indeed. Now, truth be told, the transition from, dating to a lifelong partnership and commitment isn't always smooth, I can tell you. Now, this is where guidance from parents and experienced couples coming to build a strong, lasting marriages. Baratuapere Awe tells us how this is invaluable in creating marriages that last.
The celebrations fade and the guests depart. Marriage begins, a lifelong journey built on understanding, shared responsibility, and compromise. Often, advice from elders and experienced mentors becomes a guiding light.
Like the Bible says, for better, for worse. It's not when things are going on smoothly that the marriage should be sweet. Even in difficult times, they should work as a team, because this world is full of challenges. The moment we don't have issues, challenges in this world, I don't think we will recognize our Creator, God Almighty. So also it's applicable to marriages also. There are ups and downs. For your marriage to be successful, it means that you need to tackle, to be able to handle when things are okay and when things are not okay.
Elders say years of experience have taught them that open communication, mutual respect, and patience are key. They remind couples that challenges are inevitable in any marriage, but how those challenges are handled makes the difference. They also stress the importance of financial responsibility and emotional support.
My wife and myself have been married for 30 years now. 30 years is not just 30 months. What has sustained us so far is love, pure love. Where we see issues cropping up, all we do is deal with these issues with love.
Marriage is a learning institution that you have to learn. As time grows, you get better. So there is not any perfect marriage. So my advice for them that they should learn from each other and grow and be happy together. And also they should also know that marriage is between the two of them.
Lessons passed down through generations remain relevant.
When understanding is in place, the marriage will be sweet. And understanding each other takes effort. So they should work towards that. And once that is in place, everything will be okay.
Listening, learning, and applying this advice appropriately, and when necessary, will help couples navigate difficulties and build a strong, lasting union.
No perfect marriage, but while, of course, parental advice, will help to strengthen the marriage, what is most important is the quality of relationship parents share with their children. And in many families, children seem to gravitate more towards one parent than the other, especially when they need attention, care or reassurance. Now, more often than not, that parent is usually the mother. But how true is this perception? And what explains it? Our own Annie Daniels went out again, and she found two families. And also, she found out how trust, communication, and parental roles influence the bonds between parents and their children. Time to hear Annie.
The story began through a trusted friend who introduced me to the Okpara family. A visit to their home revealed a closely knit family, grounded in faith and shared values. Like many homes, not without its own dynamics.
My wife cannot do anything without my consent, and my children cannot do anything without the consent of their father.
If you come back from work, he will definitely give you money to go and get something for yourself. And that's one of the main things I like him. But when we come back from work, she's not giving you money to go and buy anything for yourself. She's going to give you money either to go and buy akbu or to buy water in the house.
My mom, if you ask her for something, she will first give you 1,000 things you must see you are doing with that thing. And if it's not reasonable to her, she's not giving it to you.
Naturally, the first question was simple. How healthy is the relationship within the family? The parents speak of unity and understanding, but the children have their own views and they did not hold back.
Sometimes he shouts too, and that shout can can be very annoying. But the shouting doesn't even move me anymore.
But my mom, actually, she calls you back and corrects you. She will not let you like do it again. But my dad, if you do it again, it's either he shout at you or you find the nearest iron. And we all know what's happened at the end.
I do shout for them. I do talk to them. You know, they will not expect me to behave like their mother. You know, because women are too closer to the children. Bible says they are weaker vessels, understand? That spirit of man, that thing that makes man, understand, he will still see it in a man. Sometimes it's sprinkle up.
As a mother, I have passed through that stage. So I know exactly what they are passing through. I know the pressure they are facing now. So I know how to handle it more than the man.
From their responses, it was clear the children share a stronger emotional bond with their mother. In families, such preferences are not unusual.
Because she's more caring, she's more understandable. She's more like, she has this kind of motherly love that my dad doesn't have. When my mom is cool, she is more of this advisor. Like if you check my phone, I actually saved her name as mom #advisor.
To lighten the moment, I posed a playful question. If given a choice of traveling abroad, who would they pick, mom or dad?
Obviously my mother. My mom.
Why your mom?
Because I love her more.
I don't want stress, so I'll go with my mom.
So that's going to be as if I did impartiality by favoring my mom over my dad. So I'll give him enough money to be comfortable. He can go to my town or any other better place in Nigeria. Then I'll tell my mom to go outside the country.
The answer was instant and unanimous. Can you believe that? Yes, pure unapologetic honesty.
There's no problem. It's overseas. Don't worry, God will take me. When time comes, God Almighty will take me there. My concern is this: I want them to do well, no matter whoever they take to overseas. Now I will be happy that I see my children doing well. Even if I take their mother, I'm not bothered.
And that is the beauty of it. When parents and children speak openly, mixing truth with laughter and love, it opens the door to lessons about trust, communication, and family bonds. This conversation is far from over. There are still more to hear and learn. So, stay with us.
Annie, you got a lot to do because daughter-father bond has its own story. Let's take a commercial break. We'll be right back. Welcome once again. Now, Lagos saw a very unique kind of parade ground rhythm during the inauguration of the Lagos State Police Command Band, bringing a vibrant mix of color, culture, melody to law enforcement. Inspector General of Police, Kadi Egbetuku, who inaugurated the band, urged officers to leverage their roles to foster discipline, unity, and a sense of national purpose beyond policing duties. Emil Dore captured some of the ceremony's highlights, and her report is presented from our studios.
The police band's work carries intangible value, inspiring pride and unity. Even without words, its music communicates a powerful influence. Beyond the polished uniforms and gleaming instruments, the police band tells a deeper story, one of morale, unity, and human faith to policing. Made up of 7 police officers with musical talent, the band is designed to inspire officers, foster community connection, and project a softer image of the force. Inaugurating the Lagos Police Command Band, Inspector General of Police described it as an important unit in the force, capable of motivating, healing, and bridging the gap between the police and the public. He noted that the initiative aligns with the ongoing reforms aimed at boosting welfare, professionalism, and public trust.
Going forward,
Steps will be taken to modernize its operations through the acquisition of appropriate musical equipment and supporting resources in order to sustain its standards and align its performance with contemporary realities. The effectiveness of the Nigerian police force cannot rest solely on central direction. It must also be driven by initiative at command level, by leaders who are prepared to assess their environment critically, identify structural gaps, and implement sustainable solutions.
The rhythmic performance by the newly formed band is more than entertainment.
Expanding the scope and frontier of the Nigerian police band to this command, therefore, is born out of patriotism, passion, zeal to harness the expertise stride of the band to service their existing vacuum created over so many years of existence of the Lagos State Police Command.
The police band bears the symbol of the force, pride, discipline, and a renewed commitment to community-friendly policing.
All right, congratulations, Lagos Police Command. Now, for every choice we make, there is a consequence. Take, for instance, most drivers hit the road without a vehicle toolbox. Are you one of them? A sudden car breakdown can ruin your day. I'm sure you know that. But a very simple vehicle toolbox could also save it. Now we hit the roads to see how many drivers actually come prepared.
For some motorists, a toolbox is just another item tucked somewhere in the trunk. That's if one is even available in the vehicle. But by the Federal Road Safety Code standards, that small box could be the difference between safety and disaster. A standard FRSC-approved toolbox should contain a razor blade, detergent, bottled water, a penknife, a torchlight, see caution triangle, a functional fire extinguisher, as well as a wheel spanner and jack. But how many drivers on our roads today actually have these items, and how many know they are compulsory?
Some drivers are driving something like razor blade, needles, all those things. Even some drivers, even something like even ordinary jack like this, they don't even have.
And not only having your fire extinguisher, you need to learn how to uncork it and then use it. I don't think so that most drivers know how to use the fire extinguishers.
Training of drivers, we do it from time to time. Even in a year, you can have driver training for 2 to 3 times, so that they know the essence of those two.
We have first aid bus, which must be in every of our buses that are traveling.
The FRSC Sector Commander in Anambra State, Bridget Asekauna, says enforcement has been stepped up across the state. She explains that the Corps is not out to punish motorists, but to prevent avoidable emergencies.
When you contravene, you either face the mobile court or we sanction you by giving you a ticket. At the same time, we are doing a lot of enlightenment of road users. It's not only about sanctions, it's not only about mobile court, but those activities will be going.
Before you embark on any trip, ensure your tires are not expired and your toolbox is complete. This responsibility may look small, but it goes a long way in saving you from unforeseen circumstances while on transit. For the ordinary road user, these safety reminders hit home. A flat tire on a lonely highway, a minor engine fault, or even a brief stop at night can quickly escalate into danger when a vehicle lacks basic tools.
Absolutely. Thank you for this very important report for us on Newsline. But you see, preparedness is a shared responsibility. It doesn't end with what you have or does not have in the car. It extends to how you share the road. For instance, do motorists really observe the zebra crossing? That simple safety mark meant to guarantee pedestrians a safe passage. I mean, that walkway boldly marked with white stripes, giving pedestrians the right of way. But in most cases, even right here in the capital city, that right is routinely ignored. Impatience, negligence, and a lack of awareness, especially among some commercial drivers, turning a safety point into a daily risk area, not just for school children, for also workers and elderly persons, or anybody crossing the road, even on stripes, often feels like a gamble. So Erica Ivy again went out to sample public opinion. She captured voices of everyday Nigerians who share their experiences and their frustrations as well.
A zebra crossing is one of the simplest and most recognizable road signs in the world. Those bold white stripes meant to protect pedestrians. Here in Nigeria, the Federal Road Safety Corps and several humanitarian groups mark these crossings to create safe passage for people on foot.
Part of the strategies in which it put in place to protect the pedestrian, the vulnerable road users, so that in a busy road or road for so that they can have easy access to reduce the issue of any crash and also protect their safety on the road.
So we have enormous challenges here. The drivers don't obey that road sign. It's either they don't know, or they deliberately refuse to obey the rule, or they want to, to be forced or coerced to do it, to do what they're supposed to do.
But with the daily rush to earn a living and the ever-increasing number of vehicles on our roads, the question remains, do motorists still respect the zebra crossing?
They don't obey this zebra crossing. You are the one that used to shout out all this motto. Sometimes they will attempt to kill the students. So they don't obey, even if the road safety, even if they are lifting their hands, they will be obeyed. Even some of them will be attacking the road safety.
Some drivers are too stubborn because they are seeing the line. They want to prove as if they are drivers, which is they are not drivers. They're supposed to obey the line, but they want someone who stop, someone who don't want to stop.
Ideally, a zebra crossing should be a point where drivers slow down or stop entirely. Instead, what you often see are pedestrians waiting or even dashing across in fear. Why has a safety line become a danger zone? Where exactly is the disconnect?
Because these drivers, they don't observe the zebra crossing, so the best thing for you to do is to cross. If not, you will get hit.
It is not being obeyed by both the commercial drivers and even the private drivers. I think that has to do with the level of awareness that has not been created, or they don't know how to go about it. I want to think that it's a place of the officers concerned to create better awareness, if to carry out campaign, on the streets, to make sure these people are properly informed.
From general observation, many drivers barely obey basic traffic rules, let alone yield at a zebra crossing. Road safety officers say the message is simple: the life you save may be your own.
All right, I've exhausted my lineup for tonight. Nothing more to add, just to say pay attention to what stays with you after the screen goes quiet. That's usually the most important part of our story. And whatever your reactions to our story tonight, don't let them end as mere conversation. Let them translate into positive action. Here's my two cup of peace for the week. A title is nothing more than a beautifully arranged set of words. It doesn't define the work. The work eventually defines the title. And if it doesn't, that's the story. Good night, everyone.